It's everyone's favorite golf tournament of the year. We'll be specific about this because obviously it's not our favorite tournament of the year. Golfers are in Augusta to compete for the coveted jacket, and DraftKings, the leader in one-day fantasy sports, is putting you in the center of the action by giving you a shot to land in the green. This week, DraftKings is giving you a free shot at the $1 million top prize when you download and sign up using promo code THPN. If you haven't tried DraftKings, this is the time. It's easy. Pick 6 golfers. Stay under the salary cap and submit your lineup before the tournament tees off early Thursday morning, then sit back and follow the action. The more red numbers they have on the leaderboard, the closer you'll be to winning some green. Rack up points for pars, birdies, finishing position, and more. Even though you may not be able to hit the course with the pros, DraftKings is giving you the chance to scratch your competitive itch and reign supreme. Download the DraftKings app now. Use code THPN during signup. This week, DraftKings is putting you in the action with a free shot at the $1 million top prize. That's code THPN. You can get a free shot at the $1 million top prize only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details. This is Jackets Debrief, a show about the Columbus Blue Jackets, the National Hockey League, and part of the Hockey Podcast Network. Welcome to the show, everyone. You know, I was having a wonderful Easter. It was good. Went to church this morning. You know, that was good. Had a nice little lunch. Kind of delaying a lot of the family stuff another week because everybody in my family is just now, you know, it relatively recently got all the vaccines. So we're kind of waiting for all the vaccines to take effect. So everybody's can be super comfortable with all getting together and having a good time. So that's good. That's good. And then I watched the Blue Jackets game. It's not great, guys. Not great. It is. We're hitting a point where you just. You know what? Let's head to the beer of the week because that's what you need in times like this. The beer of the week. Beer of the week this week, Sam Adams Alpine Lager. Brisk and smooth is how their ad puts it here. 12 ounce bottle here. It is 5.5% alcohol by volume. Where's my can? Where's my bottle opener? There we go. Ooh, it's got a strong smell on this one. Let's see how this bad boy goes. Time for beer. Time for beer. Because hockey makes us sad, so it's time for beer. All right, there we go. Ooh, that's a pretty color. Not quite sure what to expect out of the flavor on this one. The description here, Alpine Lager. Hazy and golden, this unfiltered lager is a breath of fresh air. The crisp maltness and lively citrus notes transport you to brisk sunny days out in the mountains. Well, that sounds just downright delightful at this point. And that's what I need in my life. More delightfulness. I'm going to tell you I'm not. Ooh, that is. That's different. I've been drinking a lot more summer beers recently. And this is. I mean, it would work as a summer beer. It's just. Normally, a beer that's kind of lighter in flavor like this, but still has a strong bitterness. I don't know if I like as much, but this is good. This is very good. And you know what? I need good things in my life. I have a wonderful wife. I have a great kid. I like my job well enough. Lots of wonderful things in my life. You know what's not wonderful in my life? Hockey. My team is just every game I turn it on, and it's like they just keep punching me in the face. Like, I was watching the game today, and Boo Jenner blocks a shot, and he goes down, and he's like, oh, it hurts, and he skates to the bench, and I'm like, yeah, it does hurt. This all hurts. This isn't good. This isn't fun. It's just like, because you watch the games, and when you watch a hockey game, you're like, I want my team to win. And they're not even looking like they're trying half the time anymore. And it's let's be honest here. They're NHL 500, which is a good way of lying to yourself about how good your team is. They're not NHL 500, first of all. They're 450. They are 7th in the division any way you slice it, whether by points percentage, it doesn't matter anymore. They're 7th in the division. It's entirely possible Detroit catches them because they have a 2-game series with Detroit coming up soon. And as we've learned, Detroit can sweep the Jackets. I mean, a few days ago, the Blue Jackets were literally at the point where it was like, hey, we're 2 points back. In our last 10, we're 3-6-1. We've lost 3 in a row. Is that currently the longest active losing streak in the league? Yes. Yes, it is. It is currently the active longest losing streak in the league. I'm so tired, guys. It's not good. It's not good. Like, if you just counted overtime losses for what they are, which is losses, this team is 14-26. 14-26. The Detroit Red Wings would, if you just count the overtime losses as losses, are 13-27. Detroit has more regulation wins than us. With 12, we have 10. And if you go to regulation and overtime wins, we have 12. They have 13. The Columbus Blue Jackets are, if it wasn't for Buffalo. See, here's the thing, guys. Buffalo had that ridiculous losing streak, right? And I know they're, non-winning streak of 8. No. If you lost in a shootout, it's still a loss. They lost 18 games in a row. They have 22 points. They're 8-23-6. They have 5 regulation wins, 5 regulation or overtime wins. We only have 5 more regulation wins than the Buffalo Sabres. I don't know what to say at this point. Because here's the thing. I mean, this is a team that, I get that the Pierre-Luc Dubois stuff happened, but this team is not competitive at this point. If you look at the league, they have down to a 3.5% chance of making the playoffs, which is just not good at all. The NHL, if you look at Tankathon, they're up to a 6.5% chance of number 1 overall, 13.3% chance of a top 2 pick. So who knows? Maybe we get a number 1 overall pick or a number 2 overall pick in a year where nobody's been able to watch these guys play and we're all just kind of guessing it, and the draft may or may not be great anyway. So who knows? It's just, this is a downer of an episode, and I'm sorry, but that's what it is. You had Easter, you had candy, you had dinners with your family. Get to celebrate the resurrection of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, which is a wonderful thing. Can't all be good, folks. Vaccinations are getting to the point where they're averaging 3 million shots a day in the U.S. There are lots of wonderful things to be happy about in this world. Right now, Blue Jackets hockey is not one of them. So whenever you get down about Blue Jackets hockey, there's all these other wonderful things to be happy about. That's not what we're doing on this show. No, on this show, we are miserable and angry. That's what we are here, folks. It's not good. This is just going to be a rant show. That's what we're doing on today's show, folks. Because you look at these games, a 5-on-5 scoring venue adjusted. Now, if you've been watching these last couple games, okay, so today against the Panthers, they did not play well. They just got beat. And the terrible thing about today's game is, and this was pointed out by somebody on Twitter, when you look at the percentage of expected goals for, again, that's mathematical equation that takes into account where shots are at, what kind of pass happened right before it. It's a way of trying to quantify how good a shot is, and then you see each team's share of it. So at 5-on-5, in the first period, at scoring venue adjusted, in the first period, the Panthers had 54.29% of the expected goals for. Okay, Blue Jackets are kind of keeping it close. Second period, 59.56. Okay, I mean, 6 out of 10 if they're up that. I mean, maybe you get lucky here somewhere. Third period, 73.12%. The Blue Jackets got progressively more outplayed as the game went on. It's not working, folks. It's not working. When you look at this season, now, one of the annoying things, the last 2 games before that, one against the Blue Lightning, one against the Panthers, both games they lost, they actually did have more expected goals for at 5-on-5. Scoring venue adjusted. They had 57.79% when they lost to the Lightning 3-2, 59.36% when they lost to the Panthers 5-2. And I know sometimes it stinks when you feel like you're the better team and you lose. But here's the thing, guys. Most of the Blue Jackets wins this year, they weren't the better team. Let's go through. Let's do a fun exercise. And for every Blue Jackets win, let's look at what their share of the expected goals for were at 5-on-5. Win against the Red Wings, 38%. This should be easy because there's not a lot of wins. The 5-2 win against the Lightning, 55.87. So one of our wins we had so far, we had the higher percentage. As we go on, okay, win against the Panthers, only 47. So no. Beat the Blackhawks 2-1, only 42%. No. Beat the Hurricanes 3-2, only 24.93% of the expected goals for. All right, we beat the Blackhawks 6-5. We had 63%. That's pretty good. We beat the Predators 3-0, 47.37% of the expected goals for. Goodness, it's going through this list and I'm realizing how little we won. We beat the Red Wings 4-1, 80%. So that's great. That's 3 wins there. Beat the Stars 3-2, 54.1%. That's 4. Awesome. Man, we just have not been able to beat the Panthers this year, have we? All right, when we beat the Hurricanes 3-2, we only had 44%. Beat the Hurricanes 3-2, 36%. When we beat the Lightning 3-1, 36.98%. All right, so 4 of our wins, if you look at the numbers, were we the better team. And it's not like there's a ton of games out there where we were the better team anyway. So we had 4 wins. How many games were we the better team? Let's take a look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 of our games have we been the better team as far as expected goals for, and we've got 14 wins. So look at that. This isn't something. I mean, this isn't something where, oh no, we've had bad luck and so far we haven't been able to. We just need luck to go our way. No, we've just not been that good. What's stunning to me is the amount of games I look at and our expected goals for is under 40%, where we're in the 30s. There's even one game where we're in the 20s. It's not working. That's the long and short of where we are with the Blue Jackets, guys. Something's not working. We have hit a point where either this group of players or the group of players with this coach or some all around that is just not working out there. It's just not working. That's where we are. I fully expect John Tortorella is his last season. The discussion came up again online this week. People talking about, why are they still hanging on to him? Why haven't they fired him yet? In my viewpoint, I honestly think I think Yarmo's just looking at it and saying, I don't think it's going to matter. He may be right. He may be wrong. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think there's a question now that the Blue Jackets are sellers at the deadline. Anyone trying to talk themselves into this team making the playoffs at this point, you're done. A couple weeks ago on the show, the Ides of March show, we said, we've hit the Ides, folks, and things don't look good, and they haven't gotten better since. They have not gotten better since. So the 2 big prizes in Columbus right now, Portsline wrote about him this week. Foligno and Savard. The Savard deal, I would be shocked if something doesn't happen. There's teams that are going to want him, especially now that Nashville's back in the race. I mean, Nashville went from essentially being, we're going to sell, everything's going to be bad, to, we've got the 4th spot, we can make the playoffs. If the playoffs started today, which, again, obviously there's other issues with this, but your central matchups would be Florida, Nashville, Tampa Bay, Carolina. That Tampa-Carolina series would be awesome. That'd be a lot of fun to watch. You want something to be happy about in hockey, the Central Division playoffs are going to be fun. Between Florida and Tampa and Carolina, those are going to be fun. Out west, Colorado, Vegas, Minnesota, those are going to be fun. There's going to be some fun playoff series this year. That's going to be fun, but not for us. Not for us, guys. Don't even get in your head. Not for us. Holy crap. If the playoffs started right now in the North, Toronto would play Montreal. That would be great. That would be so much fun to watch. I would watch all the playoff hockey this year. I will just not sleep and watch all the playoff hockey. It's going to be great. But not for us. Just get that out of your heads. Accept it. That's the first step to moving on with life. But so Nashville, people said, they had, Matthias, they had these great defensemen they were thinking of trading. That's not going to happen now. I mean, this team has a shot at the playoffs. In the next week before the trade deadline, they're not trading a bunch of guys off. So Savard looks like he may be going. At this point, as far as teams on the market, Winnipeg, Toronto, Boston, there's others. There's other teams that'll throw things out there. So that's going to happen. I would be stunned if it didn't. I think the number to look at is probably like a 2nd round pick. If you can get a 2nd round pick out of Savard, good job. And again, think about these things not just in terms of if the Blue Jackets trade for Savard, they've got a 2nd round pick to use. This beer is good. I'm enjoying this beer a lot. Alpine Lager from Sam Adams. Go get one. If you're of legal drinking age, of course. So if you're driving or doing anything else, are responsible. Anyway, when you get a draft pick, it's not just, we've got a 2nd round pick now, and who are we going to draft with it? It's you now have that 2nd round pick that you can go over and try and make other trades with. And maybe the Blue Jackets do that in the offseason. I don't know. We're going to have some discussions over the next few episodes, probably more on Wednesday, about if this is a team where you're just starting over. I don't know. I honestly don't know. You got to believe Yarmo doesn't think this is a start over group. And I'll be honest, I don't either. I am still of the opinion if you can keep together. I believe I'm still of the opinion that if you keep together Werenski, Jones, and Bjorkstrand, that you can have a good team. Jones, maybe not as much as I was, and at that point, then how many pieces do you really have? So making the trades may not be as big a deal. So we'll have that discussion more so. Quick word from our friends at the Hockey Podcast Network, and then we'll be back with more of the show here.
Hello, bonjour, hello, hi, heya, and privyet, hockey fans. Welcome to the Europuck Podcast, the show where 2 Brits talk all things European hockey as part of the Hockey Podcast Network. If you want to keep updated on all of the latest news, scores, or standings from across the European hockey world, you want to get some insight from some very interesting guests discussing their stories with hockey and how the sport grows around in Europe in different interesting places, or if you want to keep updated with all of the leagues across Europe that are either playing, have been suspended, cancelled, delayed indefinitely, then do check out our latest episodes of the Europuck Podcast every Friday as part of the Hockey Podcast Network. We have a YouTube channel, the Europuck Podcast, and you can listen to us wherever else you get your podcasts. So check us out every Fridays, and we'll see you there, folks.
All right, welcome back here, folks. So I was talking about, where we're really at with this team and what we want to do with it here. And I mean, there's definitely pieces still on this team, so I wouldn't necessarily tear the whole thing apart. But it's just, I don't know. There's a lot of places to go. I am less and less a believer that, maybe Seth Jones is one of those core pieces you have to keep hold of. At this point, if I had to say it, you're probably looking at Werenski and Bjorkstrand as your number one or two pieces to keep on this team. So I don't know. We'll see. There's rumors about are the Blue Jackets going to trade Nick Foligno? I think that's a question only Nick can answer. A lot of speculation is that it depends on what the team wants from him going forward, what Nick wants. I mean, does he want to go somewhere and have a shot at a cup this year? Does he want to sit down and say, no, I'm going to keep playing for the Blue Jackets. I want to be part of what's going on here. It's discussions of what's his contract like going forward. We don't know. It's going to be tough. I mean, my only view at this point is if he wants to go somewhere and win, as long as he doesn't get traded to someone I hate, like, Pittsburgh or something, I don't care. That's fine. If you trade him to Toronto and he's going to go down and help them make a run, or Montreal, or I don't know, Vegas or Minnesota. Minnesota might be an interesting place for him to go play with his brother for a few weeks and have a playoff run. That could be kind of cool. If Nick Foligno gets traded to Minnesota, that's going to be my team in the playoffs. Oh man, that would actually be kind of fun. But we'll see how that goes. We'll see. Next Sunday will be our big trade deadline preview show, and we'll try and have some chats on that and see what's going on. So that's where we stand there. Last story I want to touch on this week. Man, the Canucks situation is going nuts. For those of you not aware, the Vancouver Canucks are up to 16 players in COVID protocol. The stories we're hearing is that some of these players are symptomatic, and there's unconfirmed rumors that some of them are not, like they're having a bout with the virus. It's tough. I normally don't touch on things this way too much, especially on the actual audio version of the podcast where you guys can all hear me. But this week, a politician, I will not name who, because it's not about parties and all that crap. It's just about people being stupid, tweeted a video and said, "This is my COVID protection," and proceeded to show like a 15, 30-second video of them working out. That's stupid. That's incredibly stupid. That's not how this works. Like, I get it that I've seen now the anti-vaxxers and the COVID truthers out there with this whole thing of, like, essentially trying to be like, you're saying that overweight, out of shape person with the vaccine is healthier than this super in shape person who won't take the vaccine. No, that's not what anybody's saying, but vaccines don't care how fit you are. You can have a body fat of like 2%, and the virus does not care. I've seen people saying things like, there have been stupid responses on Twitter to this, like, "Oh, well, I hope they're all okay," or you can tell people being, "Oh no, what if they," just trying to act like it's not a big deal. "Oh no, it's a fictional virus," or whatever. So I'm a huge Cleveland Browns fan. This year, Cleveland Browns defensive end Myles Garrett got COVID. And for the rest of the season, he was not the same. He missed 2 or 3 games, and then he wasn't the same. And he answered, and he was like, "Yeah, COVID laid me out, and I just can't get my breath like I should be able to for the rest of the season." Go look up workout videos from Myles Garrett. Holy crap. The man is insane. I mean, it's like a cartoon character, both how defined his muscles are and what he can do. He was doing box jumps of like 56 inches, just going from flat foot to 50 inches in the air and landing. It's nuts. There was one video of him doing a workout. He was literally, you know how gymnasts do that thing on the poles where they will essentially hold themselves completely upright and just stay there? Which is impressive. I've never been able to do it. I never will be able to do it. But in context, when gymnasts do it, it's people, the men are a little bigger, the women are smaller, and everything's proportional, but they're kind of holding themselves up. Myles Garrett's like 280 pounds of muscle, and the dude's doing it. He is a physical freak of nature. He's incredible. And guess what? COVID laid him out. So these guys on the Canucks, I've got no time for anybody who wants to be like, oh, they're athletes, they'll be fine. Damian Cox said some stupid crap about, oh, we've got to take into account if they have this break, as he kind of termed it, and then they go back and play other teams. Oh, well, what if it's a competitive balance that they got to break? Most of them are probably having a hard time breathing, the ones who are having symptomatic issues. Now, maybe a lot of them aren't having symptoms. I don't know. But that's what we're hearing, that some of them have symptoms. This is not something to just wave your fingers at. And then, I mean, the part of this that is more relevant to the show, because we talk hockey here. So, first of all, we pray everyone in the Vancouver situation is better at the end of this, and hopefully no long-term effects of it. Here's the trick. Because so many of the players haven't, so many players then have to clear protocols to return to play. We don't know if they're going to be able to finish their full season. Right now, they're tentatively scheduled to play April 8th, which seems soon. 4 days for 16 guys on your COVID list. Jeez. I'm going to read what this writer on The Athletic put on here, Drance, about Thomas Drance, our senior writer. Can the NHL fit these rescheduled games? I'm not sure they can without going well beyond May 11th. If we assume that the team won't be able to practice again for 2 weeks from today, that means their next realistic game would be April 18th. The club has 19 games left to play, and that would leave only 23 days to play those games. I wonder if the NHL pushes the 2 games against the Senators and the 4 against the Flames to the back end. Those 4 games against Calgary, at least, could be played after May 11th in the event that they have playoff implications, and otherwise the club's lottery odds would be determined by points percentage. Hard to see how Vancouver gets to 56 games played at this point without significantly pushing the playoff schedule further into the future for a team that wasn't likely to factor into them anyway. That's probably what's my guess, because the NHL really doesn't want to go back to points percentage. I think the reason they were more comfortable doing that last year is because they then did the play-in kind of 5-game series to get into the playoffs. So the points percentage kind of was negated a little bit, and it's important by the fact that you do get to play games to determine if you were going to make the playoffs. But yeah, I can see this being something where Vancouver is essentially coming back from this COVID thing and playing for their playoff lives, which is going to be nuts. Anyway, folks, thank you very much for watching, listening, however you interact with the show. We do appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Please, go give us ratings, however you do that on podcast things. That's always good from what I hear. I'm not sure. But thank you very much for watching, listening. And come Tuesday night, I'll be watching the Jackets. My expectations are low, but go Jackets. Please subscribe to the show. Follow us on Twitter @JacketsDebrief. And thank you for listening.